tonight. We're going to call him Sid M because the other game we're going to play tonight, Sid, is if you can say Sid's last name correctly, you win a copy of his book. Because I failed. I failed it bad. And I'm usually pretty good at this. And I actually traveled a lot. And I pride myself on getting this stuff right more times than not. But I did not tonight. So I apologize, my friend. So Sid, we're going to jump right into it, dude. You and I have known each other for about a year now, almost exactly a year, as a matter of fact.
Exactly, yeah.
We literally bumped into each other, I think, at a National Barbecue conference. And you had this book, and you're like, look at this book. And I looked at it, and I was like, this is a pretty good book. I like it. You did well. And at the time, I thought you were another publisher just shoving another book in someone's face, honestly. And that's part of the story, in truth, right? You do publish books. But we didn't know there was more to the story. So tell us about your book, Sid. Perfect Barbecue Method. Tell us how this journey began, dude.
Cool. So basically, I've been publishing books for many, many years now. And I've published all kinds of books. So my experience is really from creating things. And I've done well publishing books. And originally I started off Amazon. And I was doing all kinds of different books and stuff. And I've always wanted to take one of my bestsellers and create something new out of it. And one of my bestsellers happened to be in barbecue. And I was like, okay, I really like barbecue. Let me see what I can do with this one. And so it all started with a survey. So one of my specialties is marketing, really, is publishing and marketing. So all I did was I created a survey and I threw up a website and I ran some ads to it. And I wanted to see, will anybody actually take this book? And I wanted to know what people wanted in the book. And that was the most important thing to me. I wanted to see. It started with the survey.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
No, you're good. Good. So the one thing I'll say, Sid, to give you a break here, is for those that know Sid and have worked with him for over 35 seconds, Sid does nothing without having a few surveys. I'm pretty sure his morning coffee includes a survey or three on what's the trending coffee to drink today. And should he go with a croissant or maybe just go easy with a Pop-Tart? I don't know. But there's going to be a survey involved.
Always ask the people what they want, and they'll tell you what they're looking for. So,
yeah, and that was the brilliance of this book. So initially, I get this book, right? So open it up, and I'm like, oh, there's actually some decent recipes in here. It's well put together. I thought to myself, well, there's one or two things here. Either someone finally wrote a good barbecue book, number one, and quite frankly, most barbecue people are too lazy to do that. I won't say too lazy. They'll write a good barbecue book. You know what they won't do is spend the money for the graphics in a good barbecue book because they cost so much to make a book. So that was the first thought. Then number two was, it's either that or the corporations finally got us. There's an algorithm. They figured us out, and now barbecues jumped the shark and it's over. But as we find out more and more about your situation, you just surveyed the heck out of it and hired some experts to put together an amazing book. So talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, so while I was doing the survey, one of the first things I did is like I said, I've already been publishing books. So the original version of the book was already ready to go, but I wanted to make it 10 times better. And then the original book was actually like half the size of this. And the way that manuscript came about was I bought all the best books in the market. Literally, I went to Amazon, I typed in like barbecue keywords, and I would just pull up all the trending barbecue books. I found like every single one of them, just bought, and I bought all of them. I even went to my local library, pulled out as many of those barbecue books as I could find that weren't on Amazon, and then I pulled those out. So literally, I had like 15 or 20 plus books, and then literally I just laid them all out in my room. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Beautiful Mind, but that's kind of the funny image I have in my head, because that's what it was like. I opened up all these books and I had note cards and stuff and a notepad, and I would just kind of walk around the room, and all these books were literally open, like strewn across the floor, and I would just like flip pages, and I would pay attention to what all the books already were talking about, and almost all of them had the same regurgitated what's missing, and that's where the survey came in and filled in the gaps. So ultimately, that's how the book came out to be. I literally just looked at all the top books and I figured out what was already working, and I filled in the gaps.
And you did it well. So I just put, for you guys just now joining us, the Flavor Anonymous crew, we have Sid here, publishing extraordinaire. And if you've got questions for how to publish a book, what makes a good book, Sid's your guy. Like, what I love is that the surveys work, and you're crushing it. You've sold a ton of books without a major publisher and without Amazon. And I'm going to tell you, I've been through this book process twice, being pitched books, and the first thing they'll start with is, if you don't have Amazon, you don't have us, the major publisher, you're not going to make any money. It's what they try to tell you up front. And what I love is that you've kind of put the Flavor Anonymous kind of funk on doing books, right? You totally just approached it from a different vantage point and hacked this thing and kind of did it your own way, which is what I love. So, is it you may be delayed just a little bit. I see you break up just a touch. Dylan, you still there?
Oh, I'm here. All right.
Oh, Dylan is still here. All right.
Cheers. I'm
Cheers.
just sipping my whiskey. Listen.
What? No, I got the big one today. I got the big one. Okay.
It's a little laggy, yeah. I think it freezes every once in a while.
Yeah, we're okay. I don't know if it's your connection or not, but it's okay. So anyway, I posted a link to your book. It is called The Perfect Barbecue Method, and I will tell you that is one hell of a mic drop of a name. It's not the best method. It's not the expert's secret. You just straight out and said it's the perfect barbecue method. So that's a lot to live up to, dude. How'd you get there?
It's actually kind of funny. The original name of the book was Barbecue Hackers, and the reason I wanted to call it that was because I wanted to form a community of barbecue hackers. I wanted people to call themselves barbecue hackers. And I actually sold several copies of the book Barbecue Hackers, but before I went to print a large amount of books, I had this, the name just flashed in my head, and I was like, I don't know, I think I kind of, it was an completely untested name, because even when it comes to the title, I always test everything first, whether it's the content of the book, the title, the subtitle, whatever it is. I always, would split test things and basically just ask, if I asked 100 people and like 60 of them preferred title A to B, title A wins. But this was sort of a gut feeling that I had, and I just went with it.
Yeah, for sure. And listen, so the full story on this book, I endorse this book. I like this book. I really think it's a good starter book for a lot of people. You've got, it's like 100-something recipes in there. They've all got great pictures. There's a great pizza section, which you don't get in all barbecue books. And there's some good basics. But this is where I'm going to let Dylan chime in a little bit, because he went through it pretty hardcore. And while it's a good book, we always can find a way to make things better. And this is what I love about working with you, Sid, is that you immediately came to several people in the community and were like, how do I just make it better? Dylan, give your, we both like the book. We both have the book.
Yeah.
Other than some jargon kind of stuff, dude, for an outsider coming in and writing this book, I got to say it's pretty much a home run. It's pretty darn close.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive, the breadth and depth of the book, especially coming from an outsider. As you said, like any places I could find defaulted, would be in some of the jargon, some of that, some of the vernacular. Really, that's probably the bulk of it. and then like we've kind of talked, what I would like to see added to it to round the book out would be some more in depth on cut charts, how to break down primal and subprimal cuts into the cuts that people see in grocery stores, and what are some larger format cooking. So it covers a lot. Like Shane said, it's got a pizza section, it's got dessert sections, rub sections, sauce sections. It's got different ethnic tied barbecue sections. So it's not just straight Southern or straight Texas or even straight United States. It's got some West Indies and some other stuff in there. I'd like to see, as large format open flame cooking is becoming more and more popular, see a section added to that, like how do you cook on open flame, and then some of the more traditional things like the Carolina, the burn barrel, where you burn down your split wood right there to make your charcoal and then shovel it into the pit. So really it's not so much about changing what's there, it's about adding to it to the more perfect barbecue method, or the even
the more perfect. Can we put perfecter barbecue method?
Perfecter.
That's the sequel, and it's in works.
Or just perfect AF.
I like that one a lot.
That's Dylan's version right there.
I actually like that a lot.
Perfect as, but that I'm going to tell you right now, that would sell a lot of T-shirts. Trademark that now before people hear.
That should be the Flavor Anonymous edit. The perfect AF barbecue method.
Anonymous flavor.
Flavors to the that would be pretty awesome. So Sid, you've got a community of folks, right, that love this book. I mean, everyone I know that has it, appreciates it, have cooked some stuff. Let me take that back. If you've really opened that damn book and you've done anything in it, you appreciate that book. If you've let it set on your, on your coffee table or on your shelf, you're not done anything with it, obviously there's no way to appreciate it. But I think now we're to the point that we got to build a community around this, right? And let's get a group going where we're cooking this stuff together, and I think that's the way forward. What are you thinking?
That sounds fantastic. That's exactly what this needs.
Yeah,
it needs a community of people coming together and cooking together.
Well, here's our first guy.
I love it.
I know this guy, Tim Clark. He's a great guy, writer of sorts. Actually, pretty good writer. Let's talk just for a second. Since Tim asked, what all do we cover pizza-wise? Because honestly, to me, it was a quick stroke, but it was kind of start to finish, mostly everything you needed to know. It's not 100% deep dive on pizza. It's not a pizza barbecue book, but it gives you enough to know to get started. You know what I'm saying? To get the first couple pies out there, right? And for you guys who don't know, Tim is a great guy. And if he endorses your book, you'll be doing okay because you'll end up on Forbes. So good guy to be hanging out.
Fantastic. Hey, Tim.
But Tim, to kind of answer your question a little more specifically, it gets you in the door and gets pizza on the table. It's the gateway drug to barbecue pizza. And then I'm sure at some point, Sid's surveys will let him know that he needs to step up proper with a full-blown pizza book when the time is right. So,
and that's it. I think this introduces you. I could give this to someone who, this book, to some of my Japanese friends who maybe are not schooled in the vernacular of barbecue, right? They're not necessarily native to this whole barbecue thing. I could give that to them, and they could pull off some pretty reasonably authentic dishes out of that book. And I think that's pretty cool. I love that it's a gateway to everything. It specializes just enough in some areas. We're always going to have those areas where we wish it went a little deeper. Everyone has that favorite Harry Potter book they wish was a little longer. They spend a little longer on some characters or something. You're going to have that. But that, to me, speaks of a good book. When you're saying it was great, I just wish I had a little more of this, because that's what I wanted from it. So that's the cool part.
Sorry about your truck.
So let me throw some in here. Sean Vodden, Seth Sean, huge fan of this book. Did my first brisket with the help of this book. Sean, don't admit that in public. You're on our Memphis team. Jeez, dude. Killing
He
me.
was
Small.
on our Memphis team.
Was. Hey, Sid, there's a new opening on the Memphis team, buddy.
I guess it's a good thing we don't cook brisket at Memphis.
Well, maybe it'll win. That'll win. So, yeah. So, Tim, do you remember offhand, Sid, how many pizza recipes there are? Because there's quite a few in that book. There's a lot of variations.
Yeah, there's quite a few. It focuses mainly on variation, and I love that you said that it could go a lot more in depth because there's a lot of sections that I had to hold back on because this was my first venture off into barbecue and printing a book on bulk. Normally, in the traditional Amazon model, what we would do is print on demand. So if the orders come in, the books get printed.
Right.
And so this was my first venture into the barbecue world, but we've had a lot of success with it. So I've definitely got a lot more stuff planned. I've had a ton of response about what more people want to see, and I think in depth into techniques and stuff, and that's why I need to rely on the experts like Shane and Dylan because they will beat up my book and make me think. I love that. As awesome and nice as they are, I love that they actually will beat the crap out of my book and they'll tell me what they love, what they hated, and that's what I thrive on because that's how I know I can keep making better and better content.
Well, I don't know if you knew, Sid, but Flavor Anonymous is actually Latin for opinionated a-holes named Dylan.
And I let Shane and Mike hang out with me occasionally.
Yeah, occasionally. So, we talked about this group. You've got a group set up. If we've got a link to it, I'll share it with our folks so they can go join. You've just set it up, though. You're just now getting it going. But what we need, again, is people in there talking about this book, sharing recipes together, sharing what worked, what didn't, what you want to see in the new book. Maybe even volunteering to write chapters of the new book. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that I think I love the way you crowdsource, and I love the way that you're open to just seeing where the crowd takes you because you're not so married to these kind of dyed-in-wool traditions of barbecue. Being an outsider, I'm not saying you get away with stuff. I think you're less tainted. We have all this history and all this crap baggage, if you will, that we bring with us in some cases where we're not allowed to step too far to the left or right. And I think you're the perfect person for that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've got the outsider's perspective. If somebody says, especially at the conference that we met at, I would occasionally hear people say like, "Oh, you can't do that." I'm like, "Why not?"
A lot of people. So this is what I love. People didn't know Sid from anything. This is the conference in the city, right? And he's out marketing everyone. He's outsold pretty much everyone there. He comes in asking very politely, you're very reserved in the way you ask for input. But the funny part about you already knew the answers, but you're just seeing what was said. And you and I sat down together, and I picked up on that right away. I'm like, this guy already knows. He already knows what he needs to know. He's just wanting to know how much is he offending the rest of the world, and that's okay. But it was funny how many people immediately shut down some of your ideas. Feel like you just can't do that here. You can't do a book that way. Well, we went through the same thing with the rubs and the sauces. We were told you can't make money that way. It'll never work. Your price of customer acquisition is going to be through the roof. There's no way you're going to do that with Flavor Anonymous. Yet, here we all three are. That's what I love about it. And
cheers to the naysayers.
Yeah, yeah. To the naysayers who give us reasons to continue forward. So as soon as Sid comes back from his glitch, we'll get his input on that. I wonder when they're finished if they can hear us, so I don't ever say anything bad. It's like when people are under anesthetic, don't say anything bad about them.
Or when they're in a coma because they'll wake up and remember.
They will. They
It's
will.
not a fair fight. Yeah.
It's not. It's not. So Sid may have glitched. Let me send a message to him in Facebook. Dylan, talk about stuff for a minute while
He
I
could be frozen like Encino Man. So
Encino Man.
he's doing his,
I know we were having one heck of a storm here, which isn't helping our situation.
all right. Well, Flavor Freaks, here we are. Cheers to you. We had lots of Tres Hombres packs land this week, and Barbecue Pro Shop opened up their doors to all of you north of the border and everybody that missed out on our pre-sale. So my understanding is a lot of people have headed on over there already, so y'all should get.
Well, to the tune of potentially 100+ orders today. I mean, that's after ours was delivered, guys. So you crazy Canucks showed up, or a lot of people just wanted to order from the Barbecue Pro Shop, and both answers are correct.
Yeah. But so we had Tres Hombres land. We've had some awesome pictures. We've had some awesome food already made with it. I think a lot of guys
great
got
reviews
it Monday. Few people got it early, but it seems like Monday and Tuesday were the big landing days.
They were.
I've seen quesadillas. I've seen soup. I've seen pork tenderloins. I've seen half chickens. I've seen rice. I've seen vegetables.
Lots of wings.
We've seen wings. I think somebody did some popcorn. I myself did a chicken salad with day-old fried chicken and avocado and some jalapenos with the Dirty Gringo and mayo. This was a great release. I think it's a lot of flavor for people to figure out what to do with. I love getting asked the question, what should I use this on? Because the answer is always everything.
Yeah, so he answers it different, where he's like, yeah, these are like all the things that are great. And I'm like, I'm not telling you because I want you to go explore on your own.
So did you ever have the fried ice cream?
Yes.
Yeah, so Dirty Gringo with the cure and cornflakes around some ice cream for fried ice cream is actually, with caramel, is stupid good.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Well, I love when you and I are equally shocked because it's like, we didn't make these products. Listen, we make them, we know they're good, but we can't test them on everything. But we're always happy when the other one comes up with yet another thing that it's good in. It's pretty fun. Well, in Sid's place, I'm going to throw this up here. Here's Sid's book. See if I can get it arranged around here. Nah, it's gonna be all crappy like that. Oh, there we go. We'll do it that way. So
we didn't get to the best story yet.
Well, we can tell it in his absence since we're waiting for him to come back in.
The Legend of Smokin' Bob Jensen.
Yeah, so that was the pen name that Sid chose. But it was cool. It was still cool. It was wrote by an expert.
Well, actually, a lot of experts.
A lot of expert.
It was crowdsourced, if you will, or expert sourced, and then rather than trying to credit all the various contributors individually, I think it's pretty cool. It's like Voltron.
It is a bit like Voltron.
He came up with a name and a persona for the book that
Oh, by the way, not to jump in here, but Eddie Hanks about getting sued by playing ZZ Top while cooking his pork ribs, country style pork ribs, was awesome. But more than that, the shot that he took at the end was great. Ah, crap. Here you go. Let me.
Yeah, I can't see you now, Shano.
No, that's fine. I had you. I was trying to click on something and it moved it, and it turned your solo on. You didn't hear guitar solo at all. Oh, cool. Here's Sid back. Let me see if I can add him in.
This is like that. Oh, Sid's back.
Sid is back. He's back.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what happened. My internet screwed up.
No worries.
Dude, it happens. It's all good. So,
Oh no, we lost it.
Now Dylan's. You just killed Dylan. Oh no, he killed Dylan.
I'm taking over for Dylan. I'm the new Dylan.
The new Dylan. Holy cow! Be Live is killing us tonight. So everyone's on Be Live tonight. Evidently, when Wednesday night is the night to be on Be Live, but that's all good. So, real quick, FA question from Tim. Assume the cure will work well on spiral cut ham. Tim, yes, that is a very, very, very safe assumption.
I usually don't like assumptions, but that one will work, Tim.
That is a good one for sure, for sure. So Dylan and I talked for just a second about Bob Jensen and the pen name. So and how Bob is actually a list of like 93 experts.
He's Voltron.
He's Voltron. He used the first character of everyone's name to make a new name, like Voldemort.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
I like that Voltron.
So you got a lot of new stuff coming up, Sid. I think we're working on some stuff together. One thing we can spill, you've been doing your surveys on rubs.
That's right.
So what have you learned from surveying the country about rubs? Because I'm interested in this one.
Okay, that's a good question. So the rubs get a lot more response when you tell people the benefit of the rub, exactly what the rub does. So traditionally, when you buy rubs or spices or anything, it'll say, this is spicy, this is lemony,
sure,
this is Italian. And then people are like, oh, okay, I can make Italian dishes, I can make spicy dishes and all that good stuff. Instead, what I did was I looked at, obviously I had like you guys put together the rubs for me and then helped me formulate everything. And then you guys came up, I asked you to give me descriptions and stuff. And I just took those and I put them in the survey. And then the one that stuck out was the sweet sticky rub. And so in the description, you wrote that it attracts more smoke and creates a sweet, sticky, crusty bark. And that's when the light bulb went off in my head. So I went with the benefit. Right. And that's the one that people gravitate towards more.
Not the flavor, but the benefit, the cooking benefit.
Right, because you can buy, there's tons of different rubs and sauces you can buy. But when you tell people that this magic rub is for creating a crusty bark, or it'll make your meat more tender and juicy or whatever.
Promote the smoke ring. That'd be a good one.
Promote a smoke ring. When you give them a clear benefit like that, they think beyond the flavor, and then they start wanting to use
them taste it in their brain more. You know what I'm saying? So it links it together for them.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And the science of doing the correct survey to tease that out of people is very the psychology of it is what I love. Now, everyone's going to start going crazy in here because we kind of mentioned that there may be more FA related rubs. Let's be clear. These are not the standard Flavor Anonymous crazy offerings that we've kind of gotten known for because, well, not everything can be the Bohemian Rhapsody of rubs. I mean, at some point it gets played out. Sometimes you just want a good pop song that's relatable to everyone. And the rubs we're working on for you, Sid, are offensive to no one, right? We want them to be widely accepted. And we're FA, we have a small group of very diehard fans because we've alienated some because we've done it's too bold or it's too something. The stuff we're working on for you is right down the middle, fits perfect barbecue, that can be used on anything and everything. I'm going to start banning the word rub in my vernacular and change it to seasoning. Because I don't think many things we're calling rubs are truly rubs anymore.
I like that.
Everything we do is really a seasoning that can be put on veggies or popcorn or whatever. It doesn't have to just be a grilling thing. Certainly not to be a smoking thing. So,
Honestly, sometimes I just take a little seasoning and then I lick it off my hand because it tastes so good.
Best palm you've had all day.
So
yeah, exactly.
when you hang out with Shane and I at hotels when we're traveling for events and we taste rubs, we take a pinch and put it in your front lip like a dip of, and let it just kind of
We
dissolve
wait to see who
away.
cries first.
It's the barbecue dip, you know. It's the tobacco-less option for those dippers out there. Just put a lip of barbecue seasoning in there, and you'll be just fine.
If you really want to offend somebody, take a little line of rub.
Hey,
so we actually had somebody do that photo shoot.
Yeah, I need to put that. I need to share that video actually with the world.
Yeah, you need to find that real quick.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I will end the show with that because that was epic. I will say though, the stuff we're doing for you, I used to when I first started Draper's Barbecues and Sauces and Rubs, we didn't have a way to really eloquently get people to taste the rub other than just put it in a little shot thing or on popcorn or something. And these very demure, it never failed. These very, we're in the South, so it's these very overly made up church ladies would come by and be like, I want to try it. I think my husband would like it, but I don't know, and I don't want to like popcorn. I don't want it in my teeth or whatever. And I would literally grab their hand, just turn it over, and go, ah. And then they would look at me like, what am I supposed to do with that? I was like, well, now you got to throw away or lick it. And they would just look appalled, and I'd be like, "It's gonna be the best palm you licked all day." And then they would laugh. We would sell one, but yeah, they were just freaked out that someone would just do that. But it was fun. So you had surveys. I had mild physical assault, I guess, depending on how you looked at that. So depending on what cop was around, I guess. So. I'm trying to think anything else we need to cover, Sid. We plugged your book. I'm going to put the link in here again. And I don't want to keep you forever, but tell us some things that's coming up, or plug some things that you definitely want people to know about, man.
For sure. So the main thing that I want to do is a 30-day challenge, and that's why I've enlisted you guys to help me with that, because I want to push. I want to turn it into I want to take all this programs and content that we have and turn it into an actual challenge, and turn it into a community event where people compete with each other and learn together. I think that makes it a lot more fun. It turns it into a lively community. I want people to be more engaged and not, sitting. There's a ton of awesome stuff people are doing in their own homes, and people will randomly post pictures and video clips and stuff all over the place. But I want everything to happen in a lively community. Uh-huh. And I see what you guys have a huge following of people that love everything that you do, the freaks, as you call them. And so I think a challenge.
You timidly said it because we're not even timid about it anymore. We just don't even care.
Absolutely. There's a reason why people gravitate towards you guys. Everything that you do is just out there, and you look like you're having a great time, and people want to be a part of that. So I want to create a challenge around that. And if actually, as people are live on the call, if there's anything that they want to learn specifically in this challenge, or if they have any ideas or suggestions, throw them in the chat box, because we'll definitely incorporate them.
Well, I think you got to give people time to cook it, right? So maybe inside that month you could do 4 sub challenges, things like the best looking pork butt, or the best, just whatever. And along the way, you get some people like us to mentor them, and they can ask questions about the who, what, where, when, and why of how to do stuff like that.
Right. So the challenge aspect of it is really to push each person to better themselves in their own cooking journey.
Right.
And ultimately, that's what it's about. So honestly, and I think the fastest way to learn anything is to surround yourself with experts. And as long as you're the dumbest person in the room, but you try hard, you can take a shortcut to becoming where you want to be. So going from A to B doesn't have to be this long journey. Whether it's you starting your own business, writing a book, whatever it is, everything that I've learned along the way has been because I surround myself with experts. And I'm completely fine being the mediocre person or the worst person in the room at the skill or the task. But if you if you can find an expert like Shane or Dylan and have them teach you and cut your journey in half or even more, you can learn a lot from them a lot faster because they think very differently. And that's what this challenge is really about.
If I had $1 for every time someone told me that, boy, you're different.
Well, there's a lot of truth to the things that you do at the 10,000th hour are vastly different that you do at the 100th hour of doing something, right? And I think there's a lot of things that Dylan and I do now without thinking because they've done it so long and proven that it works.
Exactly. And there's I like to call it like there's, I don't know if you guys have heard, there's one back by I think Boeing or one of those big companies, but it was called the X-Wing, and basically everything about this plane was just wrong. It was basically just, first of all, the wings were backwards, and the way this plane would fly is literally it had to put a supercomputer into it, and that supercomputer would basically correct every wrong thing that it was doing in flight and prevent it from crashing. And it was a spectacular plane.
Wow.
But it went against every aerodynamic principle about what a plane should be, and that's everything. You break the walls, you break the barriers, and then you guys are the X-Wing people. That's and that's why people can learn a lot faster if they follow you. So I want this group and this challenge, especially with the way the book is. Everything that I do is always about helping people get to where they want to be faster. And you guys are the perfect people to teach your skills and your techniques because you guys are flavor freaks.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to show this in here. I want to give you a little plug here, Sid. Hopefully it doesn't break everything. MBBQ Book of the Year, number 4, The Perfect Barbecue Method. That's all you do. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Actually, I love that I was able to compete with some big names in there. I appreciate that.
Well, and let's be fair, huge names. Steven Reichlin, Tuffy Stone, big names. Okay.
Yeah.
So to be in there is pretty awesome.
That's an example of the X-Wing strategy because, like I said, when I walked into the conference, nobody knew who I was. I literally bought the ticket to the conference like the morning of the conference. I showed up with my book, and it ended up winning an award a few months later from that conference that they awarded me the prize, which is really cool. So it just goes to show that there's a shortcut for everything.
Like I said, the people are telling you did it all wrong, which is what I love. But at the same time, but hey, but more than that, you have you started a video series too that you drafted me in on to have a little fun with.
That little handsome guy in there, yeah.
Yeah, that is a handsome devil.
Look at that svelte guy in black. Is that
no? That's why I always wear black, and it's always why I have the camera far away. So that's
Steven Seagal. I think that's Steven Seagal there.
It is. That is one sexy mother trucker right there. I would take Dylan out so we get a close up, but it's too hard. But yeah, I mean that's what I love about exactly what you're talking about is that you approach this from a very flavor anonymous angle. You didn't come in and go, hey, I know you've done barbecue for 50 years. I just want to write a book of what you think. You actually approached it from, let me just go get a group of experts together, do a bunch of surveys, buy a bunch of books, let's find out what's good and what's not. And you totally did. You totally hacked it. And it's awesome. I think it's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, the reason it worked is because I literally asked people, the most important question I asked people was, and you guys should remember this question, it's actually super useful. If you could wave a magic wand and make your most painful problems disappear, what would that be? And that's where all the gold came out of. And literally, that was one of the most important questions in the survey. In every survey, that question is going to be there. Every survey I do, and I literally had over 1,000 responses from people. Sometimes it would just be little lines, sometimes it'd be paragraphs, and I literally analyzed all of those. I would have like word clouds of what, like, if 500 people are saying that they're struggling with fire management or like how to buy the best cuts of meat, that I know that needs to be in the book, and so that's why it worked really well.
Yeah,
And no other book was doing that also, so I knew that there was a huge pain point there, especially with the meat stuff. And I love that Dylan already told me that we can go even deeper with how to
deep,
handle
dude.
meat and all that. So I love that already. That could be a whole book just on meat.
Listen, give Dylan a bourbon or 3 and a cigar, and just sit down and take notes, and just be like, "So, what's this cut, Dylan?" And he'll wax poetic for like 4.5 hours just recording.
Yeah.
Robin, what cook would you all suggest for a new cooker like myself just starting out? My good friend is Mike Sutherland. First of all, Robin,
I'm
you five
sorry.
better friends. We're sorry. He's
Very
my fellow
sorry.
friend, and you should aim higher, buddy. But pork butts, man, I think everyone should master pork butt. It's forgiving, and once you've mastered it, you can feed a lot of people. And there's about 90 ways to get to a good pork butt. Hot and fast, low and slow, salt only, tons of rubs, injected, not injected, but they always taste good. So I love letting people really practice and learn their fire management skills on pork butt because it's a longer cook, but it's not a terribly long cook. What about you, Dylan?
Well, yeah. So I'll tag in there a little bit. Robin, make sure you tell Cinnabar we said hello.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still watching or
Do
not.
not take any candy from Cinnabar before you cook. It'll end
Yes,
badly. Walk away, Robin.
but to answer your question, and kind of expand on what Shane was saying, pork butt's great, but pork butt to me is, well, there's so much in barbecue right now that's over amplified, double amplified, where they ran it through a second amplifier and turned both all the way up. So it's loud, but it's distorted as all hell. Like, start back at the basic. This is actually a team exercise that we did this year with our Memphis and May team.
It's a true
Salt
story.
only on the pork butts and a very simple injection. And it was all about layering fire management products. So, there's a couple varietals of charcoal that we like and some wood. And we wanted people to get back to the basics. We wanted them salt that pork butt, do this very basic injection, and then concentrate on fire management. Learn what happens when you start with B&B char logs, for example, and then you have some oak briquettes and some hickory lump, and then you add a cherry split, a pecan split, an oak split, whatever. But watch that process, learn that burn process, learn that fire management, the ash control, and then
Sure.
see what it does for color and flavor. And if you can do that, and you do that with a salt only, lightly injected pork butt, now you can actually taste what that fire is doing for you and what proper fire management does. And now you can build a recipe. Now you can build a flavor profile when you understand that the first thing you have to have is fire, then you have salt, then you have protein or your fat. And then from there, you can layer on the flavors. You can get as complex as you want, or you can keep it as simple as you want. But I always tell people start there. I hear people use the term, "Oh, that's so vanilla." And I cannot help but roll my eyes because if you truly understand flavor, a proper vanilla flavored anything is actually very complex. It
Right.
just doesn't have a lot of noise around it. You have to focus on what it is that's right in front of you. And that's where people get all bent out of shape, is because they want, pops and whistles and bells and streamers
Sure.
and that short attention span, and nobody wants to sit down and take a minute and appreciate what it is in front of them. So for me, it's always start out basic, salt only, manage your fire on a pork butt. Then do half chickens, same way. Then go on to a brisket and it's salt, pepper, and garlic. But learn all those basics and your fire management for each of those. And once you do that, that's like paint by numbers. Then you can add whatever color you want. You start with a regular pencil first, and at the end you can pick up whatever colors you want and color that in. But you got to find the lines. So that's my advice.
Yep, I agree. What about you, Sid? I mean, you're the pro here, man. You are the compiler of experts. Where do we start, dude? Did we break Sid?
We might have broke Sid. Sid, the correct answer there would have been the perfect barbecue method. That's where you start. Buy the book.
Sorry, it's cutting out a bit.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, other than the advice we gave, which was all great advice, and you no longer have to give any, you're good now. Oh, hey, I do want to share this one thing. I'm gonna show this in the stream here. This is the video that we were talking about earlier. Of the we do not endorse this, children, but these are the things that happen inside of the Flavor Anonymous group.
And I love it was the Costco
card.
Not American Express Black Card, not a Platinum Card. But
no,
Costco membership.
That's right. That is from our friend Eric Finnegan. Eric, sir, you win the internet with that one.
When is the flavor brick coming out?
Yeah, well, so for a long time, I've wanted to sell kilos of rub, just 2.2 pounds. And I had a deal. I thought Gorilla was going to do it for a little while, and then they backed off of it. Like, I think people were getting the wrong idea. I'm like, no, it's the right idea. It's awesome. All those years listening to hardcore rap, I'm like, I just want to sell rub like they sell drugs, in the same weight. Oh man, but yeah, that's where it's going. With what we sell by pound now, knowing how many hundreds of pounds of rub we've moved in the last 48 hours, basically. I mean, this is no padding of our backs; it's a padding of our extreme fan base. And what I love most about that is 60% of the people who order from us time over time are new. And you go, well, what happens to the 40%? Well, they're ordering too, but it's new. It's all of them plus a new batch of 60% every time, and the growth is nuts. And from your world, Sid, I mean, you're a master of Facebook ads and things like that. When we come to you and you're like, well, what was your keyword and how did you do that? And you're like, we didn't.
We didn't.
We suck. You're like, what? How do you do this? How do you do that then? And
our keyword was bourbon.
It just comes from having really good products. That's what it comes from, I think. And being different, being willing to be different and just own it. We don't apologize for making people wait. We do to our customers, but I would rather sell the way we sell right now than to sell every day and have people be disappointed. So we like a small, fervent fan base that loves what we do and understands what we do, I should say, as opposed to, being out there for the masses. So the masses will come someday.
You guys are so there's a term in marketing, and it's the attractive character. People gravitate towards attractive characters, and that's what you guys are. People love when you guys talk.
Gary Dillon's tough, but it's.
Yeah, Shane's full of character. He's a little short on attractive, though. I have to pick up the slack for him.
See, you guys are good cop, bad cop. That's what I love about this dynamic duo.
And it changes momentarily. Wait 5 more minutes.
I was going to say, get poor Mike Sutherland in the truck, and we all take turns.
Oh, my God. Yeah, when one of us finally gets quiet, they finally got the other one mad. So you're like, okay, well, time out, guys. Time out.
Stop picking the scab. Let him put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah. No need to bleed out. So, but yeah, it's having fun with it. We've been told no in so many ways and so many times as other companies with ideas that we know are good. When we pitch stuff, and we just went through a pitch with you, it's like, dude, I know this will work, and I know this timing schedule will work because we've lived it enough. But beyond that, it's what we would want to do, right? Like, I don't necessarily care that you're in my face every day, but if once a week you've come to me and challenged me with something and give me some time to hone my craft to win something, Wow. Now that I would be interested in, because then I get bragging rights. It's not even about winning $1,000. It has nothing to do with money. I mean, like one of the first things we gave away was a Yeti thermos that said literally, "This is the very first one of these ever." Basically, thanks for being the awesomest ever. Just had fun with it, because we wanted it to just be real. And the bragging rights of that cup, you can't remake that cup. He's the first one ever.
Yeah, I mean, I got into competition for trophies. It was never about money. Like,
yeah,
I want to collect stuff that people can't buy. Like, that's what makes it awesome. Like, and I think that's where a lot of our inspiration for flavors and stuff come from. Like, two of the rubs in Tres Hombres wouldn't have made it to market with anyone else because they cost too much.
It's true. True.
They would have never seen the light of day at the price point that we sold them, because they would have been like, oh no, the cost of goods is too high on that. We can't do it. Or they would have cheapened them and they wouldn't have been the same product. So
that's the part that breaks my heart, is when you have a great idea or you had a great sauce and you're like, yeah, but this product will save us 13 cents a bottle if we go with it. I'm like, yeah, but now you've taken something that should have been top shelf and made it shit for 13 cents.
And it's usually not the 13 cent. Let's you get down that hill by a multitude of steps. It's usually not one cut. It's like 5 cents here, 4 cents there, 12 cents here. And then you're like, oh, we just trimmed a little off everywhere and we saved 50 cents. But that 50 cents, especially when it comes to ingredients in rubs and sauces, makes a huge difference. Like, you can do that in produce and meat, because you can, the market's flexible enough there that you can buy right, you can time things, you can portion, and you can make those costs up. But when it comes to rubs and sauces, like, there's no substitute for quality. Like, the $2 a pound shit is not going to taste as good as the $6 a pound. It just doesn't.
Not always. It can't. It's different. But this is exactly what you did with your book, Sid. This is the exact lesson that you taught everyone with your book. You went full color in your book. You put a lot more pictures in your book. That book, if you took out all the pictures, would be a half the size that it is. You went with really nice quality paper. All of these things by themselves wouldn't have killed that book, but if you stripped, you add them all up, you take a book that's amazing and turn it back into something that just isn't so special.
That's what makes beautiful products unforgettable. You can buy it, you can walk into the store, buy, there's 100 different options for spices, but after you try it, you don't rave about it to your friends or family. You just eat it and you forget about it. But then when you try like the Cure or the Voodoo, the Coca Voodoo rub, or when you try a beautiful product and then it even if it costs more, you have an experience with it, and the experience is something that is priceless.
Well, we take your concept from the art to how the bag feels in the hand. The reason why we went with the 1 pound bag is that when you hold that, it feels like something. It feels substantial. It feels like it's going to take care of you for a long time. A lot of those lessons are shared with your book, which is to me is pretty cool. With two different things, but very similar design philosophies.
Yeah, ultimately, as the thing that I think we like about each other is that we make beautiful products and we obsess about the details.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what sets us apart from all the other stuff.
We're not going to try to make an extra quarter when making $1 was enough. I'll give that quarter to you every time because I want you to read the book or I want you to taste the product. I've been told more than once our rubs priced it at $18 a pound, and I agree with him. I think we'd miss a few sales, and we're not hurting right now at 15. Someday we may have to go there. I don't know. We hope not, but the market will bear what it bears. But we're proud of what we do for $15 a pound. And I'll tell you this: anyone that comes to us and they're like, Yeah, I don't know. It's a little sort of I had this experience the other day. Someone tried to kind of talk me back about the pricing, and I was just fiercely like, no. Like, do you know what's in this? You know, we short a global supply of a single product when we make this. Like, they have to make more when we make it. I was like, if that's not worth $15 a pound and $8 of shipping to you, I can't help you. You're not our customer. You're not the person or the type of people we're making stuff for.
I love that you said that, actually. That's really important because, especially with the book. So the book itself is more of a premium book. So at $49, there's no barbecue book out there that's, almost $50. But there's also no there that has a money back guarantee. So if you try the book and you were like, oh, I didn't get any results from this, or this is not what I wanted, no problem, no questions asked. Just ship the book back, you'll get your money back, full refund. Like, we don't harass you about it. And from the thousands of books we've sold, I think I've gotten 2 refunds total. And of those, one of them was just somebody ordered too many on accident because he just clicked the wrong button. So literally, like, it was maybe 1 or 2 refunds where, but nobody actually hated the book. The two people that refunded the book, one guy said, I love this book, it's fantastic, but it's too advanced for me. I was looking for something for beginners, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I thought this would be great for beginners. And I was like, no problem. Thank you for trying it. Money back. There you go. And the other guy, same thing. He's like, this is fantastic. He still comments on my ads saying, I love this book, even though he returned it. I was surprised to see his name saying that he loved the book. But that's why it's really important to target, even if you're targeting only a specific tier of customers, they will love everything you put out there. And they're the kind of people that want beautiful experiences, and they want like fantastic, like top shelf products.
Right.
And you could easily cheapen your product and sell to everybody, but there are just some people that don't understand the value of what they're getting. So stick to your crowd, and you're going to have thousands and thousands of flavor freaks who obsess about the quality of the spices of the seasonings that you guys put together.
What I love most about our core group is the people that message me are saying things like, dude, what is in this that tastes like X, Y, or Z? And I'm like, I'll give you a hint. One today, Reggie with What Did I Eat or Cook said, what is in here that reminds me of harissa? And I'm like, harissa. Number one, that's cool because not a lot of people do, although it is a little more mainstream certainly than it was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, harissa was nearly unheard of. But I was like, so you know how they make harissa? You know what it is? He's like, well, I know what it tastes like. He's like, well, so, and then he came back and said, kind of what was in it. And I'm like, well, there's obviously some shared ingredients. I won't tell you all of them, but there are shared ingredients with what's in there. And what you're picking up is some of our peppers are smoked, and it gives you that taste. And he was like, that's just crazy, And I love, that's why, again, I don't tell people what to cook with our stuff because, I took the Dirty Gringo, which is a Southwestern seasoning, and put it in chicken Alfredo the other night and thought it was one of the best chicken Alfredos I have ever made. But it's just because I didn't limit myself to going, well, it's not for chicken necessarily, or it's not for pasta. It's certainly not for Italian. But it just brought this beautiful warmth to the whole dish that was cool. And yeah, it wasn't necessarily Italian, but it tasted great, and that's all that mattered. So you just try it everywhere.
Yeah, you guys need a YouTube channel, man. Just following your Instagram, Shane, every day, sometimes I'll be sitting at my desk working, and then I get a notification, and I look, it's like the pasta you were just talking about. I saw that, and everything you cook is what I want for lunch. You guys would do great if you had a YouTube channel.
We're working that way, especially as we get more and more time freedom with the virus thing. This is actually the segue to a lot more content being posted. That's the conversation that the three of us have had. But I got to tell you, we're being very thoughtful about what we're willing to do, because at the end of the day, it's got to represent Flavor Anonymous. we did a lot of stuff for a lot of brands, and we're still willing to do that. But Flavor Anonymous has to come through because that's who we are. We don't ever give up on that. So
I love it.
Well, guys, believe it or not, it's been an hour. It goes quick. Dylan, I don't think we let you say anything. Do you want to run the show for about 10 minutes? I'll go get a drink or.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm enjoying myself. There are a few things we should touch base on.
We should. Yeah. You've got all the stuff we were supposed to talk about.
Right. You know.
Okay, you do that.
So one thing you guys may have seen our post today. One of our suppliers made available to us some masks, some face masks for this current epidemic that's coming up. We've got them posted way in there for us. We're looking at about $10 a unit. $1 of every one of them is going to go to the First Responders Children COVID-19 Emergency Fund.
Yep.
So we'll figure out the final details. We're trying to get the best shipping possible.
Well, let's talk about the mask a little bit. So it's antimicrobial. We are not doctors or anything, and we make no promises or guarantees, obviously. But this is actually not just a piece of cloth. It's actually it's built for this purpose.
Yeah, I mean, we can't guarantee anything, and really, the only reason we were really hesitant about even wading into the pool, but I just ordered masks for my family online, and I spent like $60, $75, and got us one each, and a lot of people were asking me like, "Hey, where can we get these?" And I was forwarding links, and because it's so swamped. A lot of the places have said, "Hey, we can't do anymore. It's going to be weeks before we can get any more."
Right.
And because they came out and said it's basically a week turnaround time.
Yeah.
The price and the minimum pieces were right. We could include a donation to the charity and it'd still be reasonable. Because at $10 plus whatever we work out on shipping, I paid $15 a piece for mine plus shipping on top of that.
Right.
So the big thing for us wasn't to make this a profit thing. It was more about an availability thing. Like,
sure.
We had a supply and we know there's a demand and we wanted to help some folks. To each their own. This is a good option. If you want it, please hop in. I know there's been some people commenting already. Like, can you put a donate button as well? That sounds like a great cause. We'd love to donate to it too. So we're going to be working on all that stuff. I hope it goes live in the next day or two. They said it's about a week turnaround from approval. So we submitted the design today. I'm hoping to get a proof tomorrow that we can approve, and then we can go live once we know when we have hands-on dates.
And these are shipping out of Chicago, Dylan?
Shipping out of Chicago. So those ship from me. For those of you that ordered hats like Shane's wearing, I just got the email today that they were finished.
Sweet.
So we'll have those in our hands in the next day or two, and those will ship from Chicago. We went ahead and had a little bit bigger run made. So for any of you guys out there or gals that missed the hats that want to get a hold of them, send us a message. We have a few extras in the run that we can sell.
I actually have I left the hats open for order. They're not closed out. So on the site, if you want to order them, you can still totally order one.
And then, yeah, guys, we'll take a look and see what we have when the masks come in. Since they're shipping out of Chicago, it's a little more difficult. But, I'll see what I have. I think I have some first generation Mood in stock here, the old silver bags. We may burn some of those out to help against shipping so that we can give you a little value for the shipping on that. Just let us figure out what that shipping is going to cost. Try and keep it as reasonable and low as possible. Next thing, in case you guys haven't realized, this is week 2 of Wednesday. We moved our broadcast back about 30 minutes. So here on out, we're Wednesdays from 7 till approximately 8:30. Next week's guest is Luke Ray from Old Hickory Pits. So we're going to be talking to them about their backyard models, talking to them about how what's going on now is affecting them. Believe it or not, they're another brand that has some really good rubs and sauces. We're going to talk to him about, the development of those and some of his favorite recipes using those. and just kind of do a little quick introduction for those of you that don't know Old Hickory. Introduce you to who they are and what they're doing, because they're doing a lot of good stuff. We're going to talk about some of their community partners. They're fantastic, partnering with groups and organizations within the
there will be
barbecue
no
community.
ODR without Old Hickory. Let's be honest.
Right. So we're going to have that discussion next week. Stay tuned. We got a few more conversations with Sid, and we should have some great announcements coming for his upcoming projects. In case you guys missed it, we got some rubs that we worked on. The Sid's going to be surveying, and selling like hotcakes.
Hey, for all of you guys that are always busting my balls for a hot rub, not a spicy one anyway, a hot rub. Hey,
Easy.
there's a whole connotation there. We are going to release potentially the first spicy rub. I almost did it again. Holy cow! Through the barbecue method line. It's one of the ones that Sid is researching to see if it works. So if you get one of Sid's surveys and you want a spicy rub, click yes.
And then, as Shane said, we have our new Gambler pack coming out soon. We talked about that earlier. We actually have worked out the final names there. So we're going to re-release Mood. We have a new product that's called, code name. It was All In. Its new release name is Double Down. And it is geared straight at making steak the high roller of the casino. You should be walking red carpets with velvet ropes when it comes time for awards if you're using this. And then we got one called Ante Up, and it's going to come in quarter-pound bags. A little goes a long way with this, and it's really it's like its name says. Sprinkle a little on, ante up the entry that you got there, and even if you're not competing, you're going to appreciate it at home. It's a fantastic flavor rub. This is all about flavor. This is an essence rub. So this is going to give you that charcoal, smoky, grilled essence that you're looking for.
This is our first official PED.
Yeah.
Performance Enhancing Dust.
So this one is fantastic. And this is one of those that goes into the seasonings, because this is a great product for all you flat toppers out there, that are using the Blackstones and the Blue Rhino razors and the other brands out there. This is going to give you that great flavor on your smash burger. And for those of you guys that get rained out or snowed out or whatever out, and you got to cook in the oven or cook in a skillet, this is a fantastic way to add some of that essence back that you get on the grill or in the smoker.
Right.
But the 3-pack that's coming out is going to be legit, and it's coming soon. As always, Matt Sharpie Sharp has got us hooked up on the graphics. We're wrapping up the design on that packaging. It's going to be slick as a whistle. And by the way, we have a new giveaway for this pack. So you guys have come to love the stickers, and we're still going to have some stickers, but the Gambler pack is coming with a custom one-off poker chip. So we're having
not the plastic crappy ones, the good ones.
We're having limited run poker chips for this, and once they're gone, they're gone. Only available from FA. So you got challenge coins. This is your poker chip from FA. This is how you show at the competition, at the restaurant, at the conference that you're in the nose. You flip out your FA poker chip.
Well, and when you go across that stage, we finally get to compete again, and you're winning with FA products, you better have that chip, man. Got to have that chip.
So we got that coming. As Shane mentioned, we got a lot more coming your way. Behind the Gambler, we have our Wu-Tang. Code name Wu-Tang.
Yeah, I was going to say, between you and Eddie, you're trying to get us sued by all these music groups.
Hey, it is what it is, man. All press is good press.
No, it's not when you got to pay the lawyers.
if we get sued by Wu-Tang, we'll sell a lot of rub.
If Wu-Tang sells us, I swear I'm releasing a rub called ODB.
Yeah. But no, for real, you guys have heard rumblings about a product called Kung Fu Mofo. Well, we basically built a super fantastic team around that product, and it's going to be a 3-pack release. Our code name or working name, alpha name is Wu-Tang. We'll let you know what the official names are, but this is going to be a game changer.
What I
We've
love
turned.
is Dylan and I have completely different code names for all of these. We never know
We
what we're
do.
talking about.
We actually don't know what product we're each talking about because we each adopt.
Yeah, I'm like Shaolin. Yeah, Shaolin. He's like Shaolin. Which one's that? Like, the first one. Like, what?
I'm like, oh, you mean Wu-Tang? Yeah, we have a spreadsheet to keep our code names together. Obviously, we're not very good at code talking, but yes, we got the Gambler coming out in a matter of weeks. We've got Project Kung Fu coming out after that. And we've got stuff with Sid. We've got some rubs coming out with him as soon as the surveys come back. The perfect barbecue method rubs. These are going to be some fantastic stuff. We've already beta tested the recipes for 6 products. So we're waiting to see what survey says.
Well, speaking of surveys, this is a good one. Sid, for the folks late to the party, how do you get one of your awesome surveys? Who are you surveying, man?
I love how we're hyping up these surveys. This is awesome.
Try to bring your cost of acquisition down. This is what we do. This is what Dylan and I bring to the table.
Ask the people what they want; they will tell you, and then you go give them that. So, if anybody's, thank you, Charlie, for that question. So, if anybody's interested in taking one of these fantastic surveys, I will send Shane a link soon, and then he'll hit it in the group.
Yeah, we'll totally put it out there and share it because I'm the same way. I kind of like doing surveys. So, and again, I love. So let's be honest. I love that you actually sample completely non-barbecue people, right? You are way outside of our market, and I think that's cool because I think I know what the average Joe thinks until you tell me, and then I'm wrong. So I like hearing what other people have to say that are so far removed from the community.
Your audience really well, and then the thing is, there's so many different bubbles of different kind of people, and like your seasonings, like for example, like your seasonings would crush it even in like the health niche if you just tweaked it a little bit. Or I don't remember exactly which one of yours is perfect for them, but there's just so many bubbles of people, and then they're all just different passions. So you just gotta mix and match.
I like to think I can relate to the average 40-year-old male who makes $152,000 in California who thinks barbecue is burning weenies. I don't. We have different things, and that's okay. It's why we have these surveys, and doesn't mean I don't want that guy as a customer. It just means I have to rely on someone like you to reach him.
So we talked about the Gambler. We talked about the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon pack that's coming out. Third code name, by the way. Third code name in one broadcast. We got prototypes coming of a new piece of cooking equipment that will be, you can use it on any grill with proper clearance. You can even use it in your oven inside. And this is going to help you when you're testing recipes from the perfect barbecue method, when you're trying to come up with great opportunities to use our fantastic seasonings from FA. This one's going to be cool. Stay tuned because there's a good chance you're going to start seeing some pictures this week and next week of this. And we may need to employ you, Sid, to run a survey for this product so we can see where our market is and what the market will bear. Because this is one of those things that's going to be fun. Like, this is the new fondue, only it doesn't suck. So this is going to be the new, I think this is going to be the new, if we time it right, this is going to be the new group thing. This is going to be the new gather around the barbecue and let's have some food, and this is cool, and this is the Instagram shot. This is that money shot thing. if we do it right, I think we got it. But we may need some surveys from you to prove our point, Sid.
Absolutely. Happy to help.
And then Shane, what else do we got? Anything else?
That's a lot of it right there. I look, Flavor Anonymous group. We're gonna have the Pervert Barbecue Method group. We're also gonna have the Flavor Anonymous group. Let's talk about the intent of the FA group real quick. I will slap the first person that brings politics into that group. I am so sick of it. Don't bring it in there. However, if you want to debate me on which cut of steak is best, let's go. Let's go. That's what it's built for, right? It's built for food. It's built for fun. I don't mind the smack talk. It's really built for us to learn together about the stuff that FA does, but it is not a place for any of that other junk. And you guys, listen, I love you. I am so thankful for every one of you who have bought something and posted a picture. But let's move some of that stuff over to the FA group. I appreciate you posting everywhere else and spamming the world for us because cost of acquisition goes down, and we love you. But some of that stuff, bring it back to the FA group. It's a hashtag Flavor Freaks, and let's talk about it there. I'm not saying don't do what you do. I'm not trying to control what you do or what you say. That's not the point. But I am saying let's do it in the FA group. Let's do it in the PBM group. And let's do it in a learning environment where we can really share ideas and share concepts and challenge one another to be better, to help each other be better cooks first and foremost.
Well, and we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys sharing the love. Like, absolutely share the love, but share the love by sharing the group.
Right.
The great thing about posting in the group and inviting people to the group and sharing within the group is that group Shane and I moderate, so we can see it. So when people have questions, or if someone has a wrong assumption about a product, or there's something awry,
Well, a great example, the Cure. Some people were putting out the Cure had some of the curing salts in it when it first came out, and that was
some
not
of the nitrates and nitrites, and it doesn't.
right. But we had a tough time tracking down where that had gotten posted. Where if you bring it in the group and you ask that question, we got you. We'll help.
And the horse's mouth. That's what I grew up. You want the information, go to the horse. Well, we're the horse, and he's the horse's ass. So come to us.
Yeah, this is the best show I've ever been on.
You're gonna get some answers one way or the other. But come to the group, share the group, and that shares the love. Same thing with PBM. We're going to be in there. We're going to be contributing. Invite people to the group. Join the group, and let's talk PBM. And that doesn't mean there's not crossover. I mean, let's face it. There's all kinds of crossover and interweaving in here, but let's keep it somewhat organized so we can address the questions and the concerns and comments that come up.
Well, the people that watch our show and are in our group are probably going to be the people answering those questions in the PBM group. Let's be honest, because a lot of the guys that in our circle are upper echelon cooks, and that is in no way disrespectful to the other group. It's two different markets, and when we go to PBM, we go there to help, right? Not to show off, not to talk shit, not to be like, you're an idiot, you don't know this. That's not what that group is about. It's about getting them up to our level and helping answer their questions and flattening their curve to the learning, and to really get them the right info straight away.
So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So in PBM, guys, keep in mind, whether it's your first day or your 1000th cook, everybody had a first time one time. So let's help. It's a learning thing. We're not there to bash. We're not there to talk shit. We're not there to make people feel bad. We're there to help. We're there to share the knowledge. It's a community-based thing. So let's have some fun. Same thing in FA. Like, FA is the place to express those carnal desires. It's the place to ask the crazy what if. It's the place to post your meme table that says, fight me. I think this, fight me. and that's where you do it. And Charlie, the answer is normally it would be Bland's. That's true. You've watched enough of these to know. But today I was feeling fruity, so we got the peach and some Louisiana tea. So it's just some Louisiana tea and some peach Crown Royal.
Mike says you're both wrong. It's Woodford Reserve. So there we go.
Hey, I got a bottle of that too, Mike. We'll hit that later.
Mine was, you ready for this? Are you ready? The hardcore Verner's
Ginger Ale.
I love Verner's. There was as a kid. Anyway, does that cover it, Dylan? You got everything?
Yeah, it's Whiskey Wednesday. Join us at 7 o'clock every Wednesday for FA Live. We are FAAF.
Shirts are coming. Shirts are coming.
Shirts are coming. All kinds of stuff are coming. Check back and you'll see the post for Sid's survey challenge.
Yes.
You too can be a Sid survey monkey. Just sign up. We'll post the link.
He loved to do that because he didn't have to pay for it. So, you know.
And then we'll also post the link to his Perfect Barbecue Method group where you will see yours truly, the attractive, and Shane the character, the 1-2 punch, known as FA, in the group. Obviously, Shane will be providing the serious content, and I'll sit back and chuck rocks. But it'll be fun, so join us there. Share the groups. If you have any questions, let us know. Stay tuned. We got lots of stuff coming up. And if you haven't made it already, over there, barbecueproshop.com, get your stuff and get ready because the weekend's coming.
It is coming. Sid, tell us where to find you, dude. Let's say someone's got the best book idea ever, and they want to pitch it to you. How do they get to you?
Look me up on Facebook. My name is Sid Mylavarapu. Can spell it for you?
No, here. I'm going to put it on the screen. Watch this.
There you go. So just add me on Facebook, shoot me a message. I'm happy to help anyone who wants to talk about publishing or business ideas or anything you need help with. Well, let me know. I'm your guy for that.
I'll answer a few cooking questions, believe it or not.
I love cooking. Absolutely.
So
that's how this whole thing started. Actually, I've published a lot of different cookbooks. I just happened to, the barbecue is the one that there's just so much passion around it that it was just so much easier to build a business in there.
Well, you say passion, I say assholes, but it's okay. We're both wrong.
Just a few sprinkles.
Why I keep doing this is it is the passion, and I jest a lot about it, but it's because of how much I love it. And I wouldn't keep doing this on my free time, on my not free time, on my time that I should be doing other stuff, the time when I'm paid to do other stuff for other people, but I still do this crazy barbecue thing because I can't stop it. It's in my blood. So, all right, guys, that's it. Check out Sid's book. Definitely buy it. Hey, if you buy Sid's book because you watch this in some way, whether it's tonight, tomorrow night, next week, if there's a little block in there that says, "Where'd you hear about us?" Say, FA or something about it. I always love, when I sell stuff, I always want to know where it comes from. It's just that's the cool thing for me. We do not get a penny of that. We do not ask for a penny. Okay. Sid, you can nod your head. We don't get anything for selling your book. We've never wanted anything for selling your book. We want to sell your book because we like your book. So
I appreciate that.
But we definitely would love when you guys let Sid and people that you buy stuff from, let them know where you've heard about it, because it really helps. That marketing stuff, we're spending a lot of money to find the right people to buy our products. Some companies are. So help them out. Tell them where you're coming from. So
buy his book and let him know you came through us, and maybe you can get the Perfect AF Flavor Anonymous edition.
We gotta write at least a pamphlet now.
Come on.
I've figured out next April Fools already. It's gonna be so great.
I can see it right now. The AF is in spray paint on the cover.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
totally urbanized it.
We fixed it. All right, guys, you know who we are. We're 25 minutes past where we normally go, but we appreciate you hanging out with us. Share this with your friends after we're done. Let them see it. Tell them they need to know about Flavor Anonymous, and most of all, tell them they need to buy the best rubs in the mother trucking world from Flavor Anonymous, because we believe that's true. They're the freshest, they're the best. You taste it. You've seen the reviews. You've tasted it with your own face. Go get some
seasonings.
That's right. Go get those seasonings. Till next time, at Flavor Anonymous Brands is our Facebook, flavoranonymous.com, at Flavor Anon on Instagram. We've screwed it
At
all
Flavor
up.
Anonymous.
Oh, we did fix it. So it's at Flavor Anonymous on Instagram as well. So hit us up there. You're going to see us post a lot more. Until next time, guys. Peace out.
Cheers.
Thank you for having me.